Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing today? So, once again, carrying on with Grigsby's war in the east as we continue. So we're not too far from Baku now, though we do lack in fuel. And how that all ends up, I've only been up 17 seconds and you're already in here. Well done. Yes, so I do need to get fuel down to the area around Baku. The rail lines aren't too far away, but it is significant enough. I do need to ideally have transport planes brought down to the south so we can make use of them. We can move the rail lines up though, which is pretty good. We did just finish off in the last episode for the end of the turn, so this is the start of the turn now. Lovely. Nice bit of rail work done there. Good job. Okay. How are we doing on terms of actual supply then? So in supply 10 MP. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yes, Moscow fell last year. Where is Moscow? Ah, here we go. Moscow's quite far behind the lines at this point. We have Moscow being held by the 212th Infantry Division, Army Group Center, under the command of General Field Marshal Albert Kesselring, has residence within Kremlin, or what's left of the Kremlin. The 203rd, the 454th, they hold Moscow. Leningrad is held by a few Germans, a few Luftwaffe Jaegers, and mostly Finnish troops. We did complete the destruction of the Volkov pocket over here not too long ago, so we are moving the armies out. Gorky is the objective for the time being, as well as Kubayshev. Stalingrad is being held at the moment. Mostly, it's fairly easily held. The poor weather is not too far away though, so I'm not entirely too eager to advance. Right, so we do have some forces over here that are somewhat trapped. These forces do appear to be fairly weak, though the Italians are just ridiculously bad. So I don't reckon they'd be able to do too much anyway. Build up a rear guard. Okay. Now, we do have Russian reinforcements coming down the rail lines over here. So it would be ideal for us to be able to push on to take the town of Elton, if that was indeed possible. I'd imagine so, though we don't have much in the way of fuel after the last encirclement that we did. Their losses are rather extreme at this point. I suppose you could say that. 9.46 million lost. Huge amount of men. 5.8 million captured, 1.8 million disabled. They've only had 342,000 returned to active service throughout the campaign. 1.8 million dead. Huge numbers. We've lost a good deal of men too. 493,000 men dead, 27,000 men captured. 876,000 men disabled. Though we do have a good return rate, 310,000. That's pretty damn good. Okay. We've not lost too much in the way of AFVs. AFV's loss is just, it's incomparable. So much. Planes, though, has been the one where we've lost out on. I do need to push on them. I mean, we do have a good numerical superiority over the Soviet army now, over the Red Army. It's just the Air Force that we need to crash. Their AFV numbers are low. They're not likely to rise anytime soon. The amount of artillery is decreasing rapidly. Memes. Hello there, Plasma. Okay. We'll finish off the rail lines first and then we'll move on. It's usually the best way to start. Here we go. Rail lines are actually up in the north now. Fantastic. Ah, no, they're still down over this end. No, I've not lost 6 million men. 493,000 men have been killed. That's in the entire Axis forces, so that's German as well as Allied forces. And, yeah, not too bad really. 876,000 have been disabled though. So fair majority, fair majority. About 1.39 million losses in total. Still fairly significant, but nowhere near as bad as the IRL. Okay, we need to supply the push on Gorky. There we go. I am somewhat tempted to link it up to this line, but there's really not much point for that one. It'd be nice to link it up to this line over here, but it's not going to be needed anymore. This is purely so we can evacuate forces and bring supply to the front line. As the Finns will be digging in here now. We were previously holding this river, but I'm trying to just diminish the length of the line that we have to hold. Okay. Now, if we'd lost 6 million men, we would have been, well, we would not be this deep in Russia. We would be practically on the outskirts of Berlin. So, yeah, big difference. Okay, we'll have these men over here. Right, 15 MP to supply, which is not too bad at all, really. I could have this army corps put under the command of the Finnish army, but there's no need. The 16th will take up residence around this area. I think that would be the best idea. The main thing here is just to get the Panzer army moving. But first we'll deal with the partisans around. Just get rid of those, that'll make things significantly easier. Okay. Right, you need to take up residence in Smolensk. Occupy the city. And the issue in the south is really just trying to occupy all the cities. Just in general, trying to occupy all the cities that we've taken is somewhat of a difficult task. We do have Tobolsk and Kalinin, Ivanovo, that we do need to occupy, Ryazan, that needs to be occupied. And it's a difficult task, really is a difficult task. Especially as our security forces are somewhat burdened as it is by holding Moscow and Leningrad. Not to mention all the lower priority cities. Though Minsk is held, Minsk is a very important city. Minsk, Smolensk, Moscow, these are our three major cities on this rail line. As you can see, that is our big main one. That's the big artery. But I suppose the Königsberg, Riga, Tallinn in Leningrad line, or Königsberg, Riga, Pskov, Leningrad. Whichever way you'd like to do it. I prefer the Tallinn way due to the fact that we actually have the port there. It does make things significantly easier. Okay. Again, more dissidents. The Finnish forces over here can reach them. There's a few partisans over this way too. We'll send these forces. I'd rather deal with active partisans immediately, due to the fact that those are the ones that are going to cause issues. And, okay, no problem. See you later, Lorenzo. Hope you have a good day. Okay. So, we'll have to deal with these partisans. Once we're dealt with the partisans, we can look at reorganizing the armies for the push on Kibyshev. And we can see how we go from there, really. Ideally, we'd like to go for centers of industry, which would be the easiest way to deal with the numerical superiority in the air that they have. though they might be somewhat distant. There is another possible method for us. Now, Baku and... let's see. I believe it's either Baku and Kalklov? Kalklov? How do you say it? Oh no, I think it's Chelyabinsk. I think these are the two permanent supply centers for the Soviets. So if we were somehow able to isolate this city over here, we could completely wipe out their supply. That would be rather nice. Okay, partisans. A few more over here. Cavalry over here, just luckily within range. Still dealing with the forces down here at Sevastopol. They're just holding out. At the end of the day, I can't dislodge them and they can't really dislodge me. So we'll keep it as a stalemate. It just benefits me. Okay. A few partisans over here. These guys are rather unlucky. Right. I have an over. Still not garrisoned properly. Okay, at least it's something of a garrison. Now we do have some more Panzer Army elements over here. We'll have them move down to the actual army, otherwise they are going to be rather stretched. Right, here appears to be headquarters. Yep, there's a 3rd Panzer Army. Have them moved out. Now then. We'll take them off the train. We'll leave them here to resupply for the moment in time. Obviously we're going to have to build up those amounts of fuel. Well. Now that's definitely an issue. Fuel. If we take it, it's not really an issue, it's more like an issue of actually getting it to the actual forces in the field. So Germany, we have a bunch of fuel stores. The fuel pool though, so this is what's actually within the armies and within the headquarters. Just trying to get it there. Though we do have an ungodly amount of vehicles, we're actually doing extremely well. We have a hell of a lot. Like, there's no way that we can really suffer too terribly. Okay. So is that all of the 3rd Army, 3rd Panzer Army? Appears to have been. Though we do have this element, though they will return to their headquarters. I'll have that return over there. Okay. Right, we'll begin to move this Panzer Army. Now we're going to have them dictated to the task, or dedicated to the task of Gorky. That's a possibility, it's not too much distance to go, though we do need these rail lines open. It is something of a problem. We can move on this way, however. If I'd had that rail line connected up, that would have been decent. Actually, somewhat regret that. But next time we can do that. So I think what we'll do then is we'll shift up the Panzer Army. Or actually, do we just leave it here for the time being, allow them to just build up the amount of fuel that they do have? Probably a good idea. They are blocking the rail lines, however, so... you take and you take some, you give some. I'll move them off the rail lines for the moment in time then. At least then that frees up space. They're still right on the MP, supply MP, so that's no problem. There we go. Have these forces move up over here then. Just a single corps probably would be enough for this task. Right, this is your corps command. Off the train there, lads. Okay, we'll take them off refit. Right. Just need to replace the lads on the front line here. This will allow this corps to move out then. We'll have them positioned just outside of Danilov. Okay, we need to cover this, though that will be easier in the future. Okay. Now we do have some very good defensive terrain over here. Numbers are a little bit light over this region. So, let's see. They are fairly spread out. If you play Destiny or have it in the past, what is your opinion on Destiny? I've never actually played Destiny, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we'll keep the Panzers, the Finnish Panzers just over here. I could always have them reassigned to a German Panzer army, give some more punch, or even to the Hungarians or even Romanians if needed. Though then again, the Finnish can only move within this region, can't they? So, never mind on that idea. Righto. Out of rail resources. That's no problem, we'll just march up. There we go. So what we'll do then is we can have the forces of the 9th Army move down towards Gorky. So we'll be able to increase the amount of force there present, which is going to be good. We do have some mountainous troops over here, which is fantastic. These guys are going to be great for punching through. Alright, we'll have them assigned over here. Lovely jubbly. This frees up this brigade over here, so I'll have that move to its actual formation, its actual division, parent division. Right, the blue are over here. Where's blue? Oh, right, my god, blue's all the way over here. Jesus, they're spread out. Fantastic. We might be able to use panzers to get all the way down here, perhaps. Maybe. I doubt it. There's swamp over here and there's heavy forest, so that would make things rather difficult. We don't have any rail pool left, that's a shame. Okay. Let's push up on the flank here. If I can push them across the river, that's going to make things significantly easier. I'm surprised that they held. Not quite what I was hoping for, but it'll do. Okay. Now, do we even bother pushing across the river? Not really. So instead what I'll do then is, we'll allow these forces to mass up. If I have any spare divisions, I can move them up the line. Right, there we go. Move over there so we can take supplies from the actual town. Is anything within there? Slight amount of fuel. Even though there's not too much, it will help out nonetheless. Okay, see you later there. Plasma. Actually, I can get that division in there, so at least that can be garrisoned. Awesome. Right, vast majority of the 18th Army is over here. Need to get them moving. Just trying to find like an actual objective requiring the sheer amount of forces. It may be that we keep the 18th Army in reserve. I mean, having an entire German army as a reserve is absolutely insane. I could even have it spread out because the 16th and the 18th armies are by far the largest and they are by far the most inefficient due to that size. So we could have them spread out into the other armies, enlarge them to a degree. Have these veterans of Leningrad, have these veterans of the Volkov front spread out across the front. Could help us to a significant degree. Okay, let's see. So we have the rail lines up to about this position over here. Might be worthwhile us moving this way, just then at least we can move on to Gorky. Well, Gorky should fall relatively quickly. Especially once we start moving these extra troops. Actually, we'll start moving these troops down. Actually, I can rebalance this so we can move them entirely. Oh. Let's actually push across the river here. Okay, now that works out a little bit better. Sure, these guys are technically cut off from supply, but there's not too particularly much I can do about it. Right, start marching these guys down. I could have this corps assigned to the 9th Army, which would probably be a very good idea. Indeed, we'll have this assigned to the 9th Army then. Right, 9th Army headquarters. There you go, 9th Army's just gained a bunch of reinforcements there. A good couple thousand men, that's going to make a big difference. Especially over this area here. Those men are very well dug in. Not going to be much chance to move them out of position. Okay. That is just... there's nothing there. I'm going to hold on for the moment in time. There's no need to push over here and expend resources when we don't need to. I'd rather expend them when we actually have a requirement to do so. See what I mean? They just shatter. The Red Army has practically nothing left to it now. But I might as well move on to that rail line, sever that connection. Ah, surprisingly they held. Actually rather impressive, considering their defensive combat value. Well done. There we go. Oh, we actually have a mechanized corps over here. That's pretty cool. I've not seen one of those for a while. That's overkill. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely is overkill. But I do want them out of the way ASAP. Right, start to cover some distance. I'll take that because we're going to need that to be able to cross over, otherwise things might get a little bit harder. I'm going to reserve over here. Okay, might as well continue north. And towards Saratov. But again, I could head up this way, but this would be the faster way. Plus it's well, region the Panzer armies more or less equally. I'm just going to form up the Panzer armies. In all honesty, I could abandon that line. We don't gain anything from holding the rail line. There's no benefit to it. Which is pretty damn true. Okay. So we do have these elements over here, so we don't want to stray too far away from the actual command headquarters. Otherwise we are going to suffer some penalties there. So I think what we'll do then is, let's see. We need these forces, the infantry forces over here to be able to push up, so... What do we have here? 3rd Shock Army. Steal a blow. That tank corps, so they managed to hold, surprisingly. Okay, I'll not push it too hard when there's no need to. Instead, I'll just build up the rest of the division, and that should be more than enough to swat it. Definitely. Really not much in the way of fuel here. Then again, we do have an opportunity to cut the rail lines here, which is fantastic. I could do it over here, actually, then at least we're not straying too far away. Though I'll form up the rest of the division. Right, your headquarters is here. Okay, easily can do this. We might want to actually surround the forces over here. That'd be a good idea. Okay. Could be there, practically. We are expecting mud next turn, however. So, this is the case. Do we go for a deep push now while we have the opportunity, or do we wait? Would be something to consider. I mean, the issue is it's going to become quite significantly harder to be able to move up supplies. So if we take a look at the actual supply MP over here, it's at 9 now, which is actually pretty good. That's actually better than I was expecting, I'm not going to lie. I suppose we are going to be able to move up rail. It's just we have a lot of other rail down here. Not all bad, I suppose. Could always have that one moved up to help out with the push. And considering that we do have Saratov, so there's a good fuel source in there, if I remember correctly. Yeah, not bad. And then the city of Engels across the river. There's nothing much there, so it's not worth really taking. I do want to stop them from using the rail line down here, though. They still have that one down here. There's not much I can do about that, but if we can sever it over here, then at least they can't send anything really down here anymore. It's going to be far, far harder for them. So I think we'll do that. In fact, I could just surround this rather easily. Didn't mean to move all those at once. Nonetheless. And there we go. These forces will probably be cut off, but it's not much of a problem. We'll be able to rescue them fairly quickly. Okay, we'll try and clear the way for these forces. So we have 98% fuel there, we have 95, 87, 95% fuel, so you can make it about there. 91, 94, so there's not too much fuel available. Right, we'll go for it. Infantry isn't far away, so if it comes to the worst, we can always link up with them. Also, we're cutting these rail lines over here, which is a good idea. May as well cut them off there. The good Russian Deutschland motorized. 98% fuel. Right, awesome. I do have some infantry that can be used over here. Fantastic. Gonna dislodge all these forces. Okay, lovely jubbly. Alright. So what do we have here then? 8th Army and then possibly some other forces. We'll spread this division out then. Right. But it might as well go deep. I go over the 10th motorized, has to capture the city So Rizan. So Rizan. So Rizan. Rizan? I don't know how the hell you say it. And rather more importantly, you've severed the connection to the north over here. So now the Soviets will have to go through Baikashav all the way to this connection over here, which is quite an important thing to bear in mind. And what do we have in the city then? We have a lot of oil, some fuel production, however. That's something to bear in mind. Okay. Is that the best I can do? I suppose that I'll have to do it then. At least we have the town over here with some supply, and so that's something worthwhile. Might as well head over here. Okay, now that's what you call a deep penetration. Suppose we could even go for that city over there. Might as well do that then. Right, so those forces are going to be cut off. I'm going to see if I can just sever the connection here. Right, let's see if I can force the crossing over here. Okay, might as well do this. Okay, that's the best I'm gonna get. Losing a few armoured fighting vehicles there. I was hoping that we'd be able to push them, but that's fine. End of the day, as long as I get this. Okay, so that leaves us with the 3rd Panzer Army still ready. Well, not really ready, but they'll be able to fuel up. The 1st Panzer Army can fuel up as well, so that's not too bad. Aye. So, not too bad then. With the Mudbow, it's going to make things rather difficult next turn. But I think we'll be able to reach the provisional capital of the Soviet Union next turn. And just look at all of this. That's just a hell of a lot. And it's like to say... I mean, sure. They're going to try and get reinforcements here. But, yeah. HQ build-up. Apparently I can do that, but that's probably not a good idea. Let's see. Can I fly any fuel over this way? No, no range. Yeah. So, they're cut off from the south, they're cut off from the north, their only way is to the east, and there's not exactly many troops out that way. There's not many troops available really anywhere. The rail line to the south has been cut, their only rail line down to the Caspian Sea is all the way over here, and that's not going to help them. So things are going to really change up now. Okay, a bunch of movement's been done over here. Take the position. Again, I'm happy for these troops to just starve to death. We'll be able to take them out rather easily. Okay, so the city of Engels will fall next turn. And then soon we'll be able to push up with the infantry. I mean, we could have the new elements from the 18th Army, or another corps from the 18th Army, sent down here to the 4th Army to give them a hand on pushing towards Kubyashov. The city of Saransk has just fallen. What did we actually gain from Saransk? Nothing really much, but a decent amount of fuel and supply. A little bit of supply. Not too bad, not too bad. May as well move up to that there. At least can draw on supply from the city and from the town here too. Which has a decent amount actually, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. We do have a city over here. Which actually does have some production and decent amount of fuel. Wow, decent amount of supply I should say. Very handy. We'll take that from the Soviet Union, deny them more industry. And we'll keep on going on that, in that way. Okay. Right, we'll start moving these troops on. Or do we just keep them in refit? I might as well keep them in refit, move them via rail when it's appropriate. Spawn the entire army up. Move them onto the rail lines. Absolutely insane amount of men right here. Huge amount of force. And since we have the opportunity, we can begin to move them out via the rail system, and that will be good. Now, I did think I was at the start of the turn, apparently we're not. We did already have a few things done. Now, regarding things to be done, there's not too particularly much. The armies need to form up again. Okay, might as well move up over here. Push on Gorky. I'll wait for these forces to be able to use the rail lines, otherwise they're just wasting fuel and supply. So honestly, it's going to be rather interesting in the turns to come. We've sealed off the north here. These forces will be able to hold this practically without issue. Hello there, tank, how you doing, dude? Yeah, so they'll be able to hold the north practically without issue. Pushing in the south. There's really not much left of the Red Army. These forces are going to find it incredibly difficult to be supplied rather soon. Alright, Hungarians don't really have the movement. We'll pull out of this little pocket here. There we go. Sweet. Right, let's move these forces down here. I was going to make a push for Baku. Ah. Right, not good. That would probably help them out. Something of a burden there, but no problemo. Okay. Overall, not too much to be done here. We do have some reinforcements, so the 337th Infantry Division, the 287th Arab Motorized. Okay. More Nebelwerfers, the Luftwaffe Field Corps, replacement Finnish Infantry Battalions, more Luftwaffe Field Divisions. Totenkopf's SS Motorized Division will be withdrawn later to return as a corps. Ja, das Reich SS Panzergrenadier. Liebenstadt Adolf Hitler SS Panzergrenadier Division. Das Reich SS Panzergrenadier Division. So a lot of the SS forces are going to be rearmed as Panzergrenadiers, which is going to be awesome. So yeah, I do feel that we can do again this turn. Hey HTRG, do you plan on pushing for the Caucasus Mountains at the start of your summer offensive? Well, we're already there, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we're not too far from Baku itself, it's only fuel that's holding us back here at this moment in time. And we have rails all the way up to here. Well, we will have them up to there in a moment. So indeed, it's really the end times for the Soviets. Considering the sheer gap in numbers, it's inevitable. So we'll end the turn. See how we go on. Bum 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 bum. I'm going to push the Soviets off the map completely. I'm not entirely sure what people want. I think people do want that. I don't know. I think we'll go for Gorky, Kibayshev, Baku. I think once we have a lot of the remaining principal cities, we might be able to call the campaign an end. At this point, I don't know. We'll see. The mud is to come. I'm looking forward to the winter. I really hope during the winter that they might be able to put up some kind of offensive actions. I'm just trying to wrap up the campaign, and then we'll be able to ideally go into multiplayer. Ah, I meant, did you plan on pushing for them at the start of your summer offensive? He's an ask. I don't see you using your mountain vision down there. Really, when it came to the Caucasus, it was just for the fact of the opportunity was there. The emphasis really has been in the north for a long time. Yeah, I mean, you take a look at the Soviet vehicle pool and yeah, that's rough. It's always a good idea to group your mounted divisions, due to the fact that they obviously excel at certain things. I have the vast majority of my mounted divisions sent north for the push to Volkov. They're a little bit spread out. To be fair, it's more down to me being a little bit lazy, considering that we've really just demolished the vast majority of the Soviets' offensive ability. I have enjoyed this series, to be honest. It has been a very good one. I just feel that the challenge has somewhat gone by this point, which is a shame. But I'm playing it because people like me to see. Well, like. Then I can't just keep playing Victoria 2 all the time. I do need to mix it up. Yeah, the mounted divisions were absolutely fantastic during the winter of 1941. They were absolutely incredible. And here comes the mud. Can't wait. Okay, so this now changes a lot of the situation. You can see our vehicle pool, as high as it was, has actually suffered there. Now, let's take a look. So a lot of our forces may be out of supply. Actually, that's not too bad at all. Yeah, these forces are doing well. I mean, obviously these forces are just somewhat stretched. But yeah, considering the distance here, that's not bad at all. And especially with the partisan activity over here, that's not bad at all. Okay. Plus I did just completely pull back from over there. Whoops. These forces have been completely surrounded, so we can drive them off. And only 20% fuel, which is a shame. Could move up and take that town. Yeah, you can see their movement has just been diminished drastically. So this is going to be up to the infantry to pull up the slack here and try to advance as quickly as possible to help free up these forces. As expected, these forces were cut off. I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to manage that. Either way, not too bad. At least we'll be able to take Engels now. I can quickly link up with these forces. No problemo. And now Baku's going to be rather irritated. It doesn't seem as though there's anything around here, so let's give some reconnaissance go, eh? I'd imagine they'd have something down here. I'd be mad if they didn't. Let's push on. Yeah, but of course there's a division. Definitely need to get some fuel down this way. Interesting to see partisans this far south. Okay. So we'll call it here for this session, so thank you guys very much for watching. I apologise for it's been a rather slow session. I was looking forward to getting to the mud, and we have finally arrived there. So this is good. So until next time, thank you for watching. Hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye for now. Have a great day.